2020 presidential electors designate, are you prepared to take your oath of office?
Yes, sir.
Then please raise your right hand, repeat after me, stating your name where I state mine. I, Nathan Hecht, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States for the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations.
You may be seated. The next order of business will be the election of the chair of the meeting of the presidential electors. Oh, okay. I don't have that. If you will please remove the oath of office statement from your packet, sign, date, and pass it towards the center aisle for collection. Anything else that's not in here? And then I can do the next order of business. Okay. Well, at least they could all be seated. I got that part right. I thought you were going to be right. I'll take a picture of Stephen. Thank you. Now that the oaths have been signed, the next order of business will be the election of the chair of the meeting of the presidential electors. The floor is now open for nominations for chair of the meeting. If you would like to make a nomination for chair, please come to the podium. If you're unable to come forward, raise your hand so that you can be recognized. At the podium, there is a script for making a nomination. Please use this script when announcing your nomination, including providing your name and congressional district so that this information can be reflected on the record of this meeting. I will now entertain motions for chair of this meeting.
Madam Secretary, I, David Brugel of Congressional District 19, move that Matthew Stringer of Congressional District 11 be nominated as chair of the electors and these proceedings.
Is there a second nomination of Matthew Stringer to be the chair of this meeting? Please come forward to the podium to provide your name and congressional district for the record if you are seconding the motion, if you're able to do so.
I, Tamon Hamlet of 18th Congressional District, second the motion that Matthew Stringer of Congressional District 11 be nominated as presiding chair.
Thank you. Do I hear any further nominations for the position of chair?
Madam Secretary of State, I, Ken Mercer, Congressional District 20, move that Richard Tex Hall of Congressional District 21 be nominated as chair of the electors in these proceedings.
Thank you. If there is a second for the nomination of Richard Tex Hall, please come forward to state that second on the record. All right. Are there any further nominations for the position of chair? Yes, come forward.
Madam Secretary, my name is Randy Orr, Congressional District 29. Nominate Randy Orr, Congressional District 29.
Thank you. Is there a second? Do I hear a second nomination? Okay, if anyone is seconding the motion, please come forward. Are there any other nominations for chair? If so, please come forward or raise your hand if you're unable to walk to the podium. All right, so we have 3 nominations, one of which has been seconded. Is there a motion to close nominations for the position of chair of this meeting? Thank you. Would you mind coming to the podium to close it? Just want to make sure we get everything in the record. Thank you.
Dave Gephardt, Congressional District 24. I move the nominations for chair be closed.
Thank you. Is there a second on the motion to close nominations? If so, please come forward.
Marcia Daughtry, Congressional District 1. I second the motion to close the nominations for president.
Thank you. Is there any objection to closing nominations for chair? Hearing no objection, the motion to close nominations for the position of chair of the presidential electors meeting is adopted. Nominations are now closed for chair of the presidential electors meeting. Being that the electors have closed nominations for chair, you will now vote on these nominations. The nominee for chair of this meeting now is Matthew Stringer, not having received seconds of the other nominations. Is that correct? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. And so the following vote will be conducted by a show of hands. All those in favor of Matthew Springer, please raise your hand and keep it raised until we have counted everyone. It's a show of hands to nominate Matthew Springer as chair. That's correct, not having received a second nomination on the other nominations. All right, by a vote of 36-2, I now recognize the Honorable Chair Matthew Springer. If you will please come forward to conduct the remainder of the meeting.
Y'all give me one moment to... Okay, thank you so much. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first start by saying thank you. It was my distinguished honor to receive your support to serve as the presiding officer of this historic delegation. As chairman of the Electoral College, the next order of business will be the election of the secretary of the meeting for the presidential electors. The floor is now open for nominations for secretary of the meeting. Do I hear any nominations?
Chairman Stringer, I'm Sean O'Brien from CD 15. I move that Naomi Narvaez from CD 35 be nominated as secretary of the meeting.
Naomi Narvaez has been nominated as secretary of the meeting. Is there a second? Please come down to the podium.
Chairman Stringer, Michael Sabat, CD 6. I move to second the nomination of Naomi Narvaez of CD 35 as secretary.
The name of Naomi Narvaez has been seconded for the position of secretary of the Electoral College. Are there any other nominations for the position of secretary? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations for the position of secretary of this meeting?
Marcia Daughtry, Congressional District 1. I move that we close the nominations for secretary of the Credentials Committee.
It's so been moved to close nominations. Do I hear a second to close the nominations for secretary?
Mr. Chairman, Tex Hall, CD 21, the reddest district in the state. I second that we close the nominations.
Is there any objection from the body to declare the position of Secretary of the Electoral College as having been established as Naomi Navarez? Hearing none, Naomi Navarez is hereby declared the Secretary of the meeting. Would you please come down and assist? As chairman, we will now proceed to the balloting portion of this meeting. Ballots will be distributed for the office of President and Vice President of the United States, and I will hand these over to the secretary here. We will be voting by secret ballot for President of the United States. The instructions are as follows. Please mark your ballot, fold it, and deposit it in the ballot box as it is presented to you by the Secretary of State staff. The staff will distribute the ballots momentarily. It is my honor to report to you that we have finished tallying the votes for the presidential electors of the state of Texas, and the vote totals are as follows. All 38 votes for President Donald J. Trump for President of the United States of America. As chairman, I announce that we will now continue with the balloting for the office of President of the United States of America, and will release the official ballots to the staff of the Office of the Secretary of State for distribution and marking.